"You shouldn't stay in that house." "Emily, you left it for a reason." That was the first thing Mrs. Cranfield, my old neighbor, said when I returned to Grey Ridge, the same small town where the snow still fell like it had 20 years ago. I smiled and told her I was only there to clean out my mother's old place, sell it, and leave for good. But when I stood before that house, its paint peeling, its windows clouded, the white curtain still swaying in the wind, I realized something was waiting for me inside. They said my mother died in a gas leak. But that night, the neighbors heard her scream, and me? I remember nothing. I was 12 when they carried me out, trembling and mute. The doctor said it was shock, but I think it was something else. Like my mind had locked a door and swallowed the key. For 20 years, I tried to believe forgetting was the only way to survive. But now, standing in that doorway again, the smell of soap and burnt wood thick in the air, the memories began to stir. And on the living room wall, a crooked painting hung upside down. On its wooden frame, a carved line I'd never seen before. "You promised you'd forget." I came back to Grey Ridge on a winter morning when the hills were buried in white. So bright the sky and ground looked the same. The town hadn't changed much. Same wooden houses, same creaky store signs, same winding road leading to the church. My mother's house sat at the very end of the slope, right by the forest. I turned off the engine and sat still. 18 years. That's how long it had been since I last saw it. It looked smaller now, or maybe I'd grown. The roof sagged, the walls cracked, a window pane shattered. But what chilled me was the porch light. It was on. Someone had been keeping it lit. My hands trembled as I fit the old key into the lock. The metal squealed. The door opened. Dust rose through the gray light. The air smelled of mold and candle wax. I stepped inside. Silence. And then, the faint ticking of the clock on the wall. The same clock that had stopped the night my mother died. Now it was running. The living room was frozen in time. The old gray blanket still draped across the couch. The same crooked painting hung above the fireplace. And on the coffee table, a picture of my mother. I stared at it. In my memory, she always smiled softly. But this photo was different. Her smile strained, hiding something behind it. As I wiped the dust away, I noticed a faint engraving on the frame. "Forgive me. Frig for Emily." She never called me that. I placed the photo down, my heartbeat quickening. Above the fireplace hung the wooden home sign she'd loved so much. I touched it, and a piece of wood came loose, revealing a hollow space behind. Inside, folded tight, was a small note. I unfolded it carefully. "Don't let him in." That night, I slept in my old attic room. The window still faced the woods. I opened it, breathing in pine and frost, then switched on the bedside lamp. The walls still had the childish drawings I'd made, 2 stick figures, me and my mom. But now someone had added a third figure, drawn in hard, heavy pencil. My chest tightened. No one had keys to this house but me. Someone had been here. The wind howled. 3 soft knocks echoed against the window. I turned, nothing but the shifting trees. Then the light flickered. A small blue notebook fell out of the drawer, my mother's handwriting. "Emily, keep this closed." I opened it. The second page looked blank. But under the lamplight, faint erased words shimmered through. "He's not your father. I didn't sleep." I just lay there watching shadows crawl across the ceiling. At sunrise, I drove to the town library. The same old librarian was there. She squinted at me for a long second before saying, "Emily Clark? Ruth's daughter?" "Yes." I came back to clean the house. Her face darkened. I thought that place was sealed off. After the fire in 2005, the police closed the basement. My pulse quickened. Fire? I don't remember a basement. Oh, there was one. "Your mother told the police not to dig further." The words hit me like a wave. A basement? How could I have lived there 12 years and not remember? That afternoon, I went home and started searching. In the kitchen, under the old rug, I found a thin metal hatch hidden under years of grime. I pried it open. A rush of cold air and the faint scent of burnt wood rose up. A staircase led into the dark. The air below was heavy and damp. I turned on my phone's flashlight. The beam cut through blackened walls and broken furniture. A child's bicycle, a dented tin box, and a picture frame face down in the dust. I picked it up. It was me, my mother, and a man I didn't recognize. His face was blurred, but his arm rested on my shoulder. On the back, written in faded ink, Summer '04, before he came back. My throat tightened. Who was he? In the far corner, a small iron door sat half buried in rubble. Beside it, a half-burned paper clung to the wall. He's inside the mirror. Don't call his name, I shivered, lighting a candle. In that moment, my reflection in the cracked mirror warped, and another pair of eyes stared back at me. I stumbled back, the candle trembling in my hand. The reflection behind me shifted, tall, blurred, human. I spun around, nothing, only the cold. When I turned again, the mirror was clear, but 3 small handprints had appeared in the dust. A child's. I slammed the hatch shut and ran upstairs. Those words from the photograph echoed through my head. Before he came back, I called Ava. My voice shook. Do you remember how my mother died? The paper said gas leak, she whispered. But people talked. They said there was a man in the house that night. Who? No one knows. The police found a man's footprints, then sealed the report. I hung up. My heart wouldn't stop racing. If there was a man, who was he? And why did my mother try so hard to make me forget? That night, I sat at the kitchen table staring at my mother's notebook. Between 2 blank pages, I found a piece of paper glued shut. I peeled it open, carefully. Emily, if you're reading this, you came back. I'm sorry I gave you my memories. It wasn't me, it was him. Leave the house before you remember. The last line was jagged, as if written mid-panic. When I reached the word remember, the lights flickered violently. Then, 3 knocks at the door. Precise. Rhythmic. Who's there? Silence. I looked through the peephole. Empty porch. Snow falling. The porch light flickered once, and then 3 knocks again. This time from inside the house, I froze. The air pressed against my chest. The sound stopped, but I could hear breathing. Slow, heavy, close. I grabbed the flashlight and followed the noise down the hall. In my mother's old room, something caught the beam. A white sheet draped over the mirror. I didn't remember covering it. My hand trembled as I pulled it away. The mirror was cracked, stained, but reflected a woman standing right behind me. White gown. Tangled hair. I spun around. No one. Then came a faint scratching sound from inside the wall. I followed it to the corner. Behind a loose plank, I found a tin box. Inside, a silver locket. And a photograph. A little girl, me, sitting on a man's lap. On the back scrawled, for my daughter. Dee Dee, Dad. I sat on the floor, heart pounding. The man's blurred face, that same arm. It matched the one in the basement photo. I ran downstairs. The iron door now hung open. A chill wind blew from below. The words, he's not your father, had been wiped away. In their place, you're not her daughter. I stumbled back. A metal box tipped over, spilling a stack of old photos. Every one of them showing me and the same man through different years. No mother, no one else. Then the memories burst open. The fire. My mother's scream, you have to forget him, Emily. And a man's laugh echoing down the hall. You can't erase me. I am her memory. I dropped the flashlight. Its beam rolled, landing on the wall, where 2 burned silhouettes clung together, blackened and warped. When I woke, I was lying on the living room floor. The house smelled of smoke, but nothing was burning. On the coffee table lay my mother's notebook, open, its final page filled with fresh ink. He's back. The letters were still wet. A voice came from the kitchen. Do you remember now, Emily? I froze. A tall man stood by the counter, his back to me, coat damp with snow. Who are you? Someone who used to live here. With you. My throat tightened. You killed her. No. She tried to kill me. She wanted to erase me, but I am what you forgot. He turned around. His face, familiar, hollow, the same reflection from the mirror. I am the part your mother buried. The memory she couldn't destroy. Gas hissed from the broken pipe. The clock ticked faster. History was repeating itself. I couldn't move. He stepped closer, eyes soft but empty. Your mother tried to erase me from you, he said. But she forgot. Memory doesn't die while the one who remembers lives. He touched the picture frame on the mantel. I've lived inside you. Emily, in every fear you never explained. I gripped the lighter in my pocket. I'm not you. No, he smiled. You're me, the air pulsed. The walls trembled. Children's laughter echoed faintly inside the walls. And suddenly I saw it. The night of the fire. My mother holding a broken mirror, screaming, "Get out of her!" Then the light exploded. I stumbled backward. Who are you? The only one who knows the truth. He stepped closer. She wasn't your mother. She took you in after the fire at Grey Ridge Institute. Institute? They were testing memory erasure. You were the only child who survived. She rescued you, but you never forgot me. I am the scar she couldn't heal. I shook my head. No, I don't remember. You do, he whispered. You just don't want to. The clock screamed in my ears. Images flashed, a red-lit room, a burning corridor, a voice. Emily, don't forget me. When I blinked, he was gone. Only the mirror remained, and my reflection smiling back, though I wasn't. I didn't know who I was anymore. The memories kept breaking apart, reshaping. Part of me wanted to run. The other part wanted to know everything. I stood before the mirror. A voice inside my head whispered, "If you want me gone, do what your mother couldn't." I understood. I picked up the lighter, stepped into the living room. The photos, the books, the furniture all seemed to watch me. I flicked the flame. Hundreds of reflections stared back. Smiling, crying, screaming, calm. Goodbye, Mom. I dropped the lighter. Flames raced up the walls, devouring the curtains, swallowing the air. The house roared. Through the smoke, I saw my mother's face, smiling, finally at peace. When I woke again, I was lying on the snow outside. The house was gone, nothing but charred beams and ash. The police said they found me unconscious near the porch. Was anyone else inside? They asked. No, I said. Just me. At the hospital, the doctor said I had mild burns but no smoke damage. It was as if I'd never been inside the fire. Ava visited, tears in her eyes. What will you do now? I looked out the window, snow still falling. Maybe go to Grey Ridge Institute. Find out what really happened. Why? She asked softly. Because I need to know what I forgot. 2 months later, I returned to the woods. Where the old institute once stood, there was nothing but concrete and rust. A broken sign read, "Closed since 1998. I bent down and picked up a charred piece of metal. 3 faded letters etched into it. EDRI didn't know what they meant. Maybe a room, maybe a name. But when I touched it, a vision flared. A little girl drawing a house, a man asking, "Whose house is that?" And the girl answered, "Mine and yours." I opened my eyes. The hills of Maine gleamed under the pale winter sun. And even now, I swear I can still see it. That old porch light still burning, refusing to die.